Hey guys, I'm going to try and get this little devotion before the rain comes pouring down. I'm in a very rainy and wet and cold Norway at the moment. Come over with a bunch of young people from the church for a LightCon conference to partner here, and they've done brilliantly. I'm so proud of all of them. But we're talking about the book of James. We're talking about the theme of faith as it runs through the book of James. And what James says, faith is action. So we found ourselves an action man. His man is Elisha, and we're having a look at his story. Last week we said the first thing that Elisha had to do in his journey of faith was he had to pick up the mantle of Elijah. He had to pick it up. Now that's one thing, carrying the mantle of so great a man. But now Elijah comes to Elisha and says, hey Elisha, you're doing really well. Do you want me to do something for you? What is it that I can do for you? You just name it and I will do it for you. And so Elisha says, Elijah, I would love a double portion of your spirit. Now, that's a great prayer to pray. I would have been very nervous to pray it, and I would be reticent to pray it because I'd seen what a single portion of the Spirit of God did in Elijah. And to ask for a double portion was indeed a very bold ask. And he said this, I want a double portion of your spirit. But let's do the maths here. A double portion of nothing in our case is still nothing. And that means if we have no faith to evidence, if we have no faith in our lives exhibiting our love for God and our desire to trust Him in all things, then I have to tell you people, it's still nothing. We have to double something up. We read how Elisha went straight from there and he went to the woman and he said this, he said to her in 2 Kings chapter 4, he says, woman, you don't have a kid. Is there a dream that you have? And this lady said, oh, Elisha, I've been barren, I've got no kid. And with a great statement of faith, he says, by this time next year, you will have your child. He'd begun to practice his faith. You see, faith is not just a word. It's not just a thought. It's not a philosophy. It's an action. And as he promised this woman a child, God smiled. And he said, man, I'm going to answer that man's faith. I'm going to give him exactly what that woman needs because he's taken a step of faith to see his faith do something. I'm asking you today, very simply, have you got a faith that's evident? Is it evident in any small way, just a small way? Are you sharing your faith? Are you walking by faith? Are you trusting God for your daily bread? Are you trusting Him for the future? Because if you are, that's the single portion of faith thing. There is more that you can experience, more of God to be had. In fact, you can never experience all of the who that God is if you will just take that step of faith. Take that one thing and say, Lord, I want to double this thing, and I want to ask you to bless my doubling action of faith. Now, this could make a big difference in many people's lives. Many people's lives are saying, oh, Trevor, is it okay if I ask God to double my finance? Well, I don't know. You ask God if that's a legitimate thing. Trevor, is it all right if I ask God to double my length of days? I don't know. You're going to ask God to do that if that's what you believe God wants you to do. But when you ask of this, ask of faith, you've got to know that what you're asking for is legitimate, first of all, is helpful, second of all, and it's exactly what God is saying of you, third of all. If you can tick those three boxes and know that this is God speaking to you, God must have whispered in Elisha's ear, see that woman in there with your compassion, with your heart of compassion, I want to bless her through your faith. And the faith that you evidence will surely be the same thing. It will be a tremendous blessing to somebody else. So don't be selfish with your faith. Ask for faith things for other people. And let's just see what God does, man. He says if you ask, you'll get. If you don't ask, you don't get nothing. And nothing addition to nothing, and nothing double to nothing, people, is still nothing. So let's go and work on our faith today. Don't be afraid, speak with boldness, and trust God. You have a great day. See you soon. Bye.